tempted by the wolf. Feeling terrible about herself after a string of bad dates, Jennifer goes to clear her head in the woods of Oregon. She encounters someone who is attracted to her, a werewolf. Snippet below with full first chapter posted here on Red Quill. https://www.redquill.net/story/s0sci7i. She trudged through the dense underbrush, her boots sinking into the soft earth of the Oregon forest. The air was crisp, carrying a hint of pine and something wild that she couldn't quite place. Hopefully, the woods would take her out of her miserable thoughts. Her feelings were heavy, weighed down by months of loneliness and self-doubt. She had had no success getting back onto the dating market. Either the men were fuckboys, or the ones who wanted commitment seemed incompatible with her personality. After a string of bad dates where she felt all the men wanted to do was use her for sex, she broke down and decided she needed a change. She had come to these woods seeking solitude, hoping it would soothe her restless heart and wavering self-esteem. It was a good choice to be like Thoreau going into the woods. The forest was peaceful and made her present. She only had time to think about her next task she needed to do with her hands, rather than letting the brewing thoughts in her head take over her headspace. As she bent to collect another log for the fire, a low growl rumbled through the trees. Jennifer froze, her hands still gripping the wood. Her eyes darted around, searching for the source of the sound. Fear prickled along her skin like icy fingers. "Hello?" she called out, her voice trembling. "Is someone there?" The silence that followed was deafening. Just as she began to convince herself it was nothing more than an animal, a figure stepped from behind a large oak tree. It was a man, no, not just a man. His eyes glowed amber in the dim light, and his features were sharper, more feral than any human's. He was a werewolf. Jennifer stumbled back, dropping the log with a thud. "Please," she whispered, her throat dry. "Don't hurt me." The werewolf prowled closer, his movements graceful yet menacing. He stopped just inches from her, close enough that she could feel his breath on her face. His gaze raked over her body, lingering on her neck where her pulse fluttered wildly. Without warning, he grabbed her waist, yanking her against him. Jennifer gasped, her hands coming up to push against his chest, but his grip was unyielding. He buried his nose in her hair, inhaling deeply. A shiver ran through her as he trailed his tongue along the sensitive skin of her neck.